Hello, this is Telomere and welcome to another repair video. In this video we're looking at this Samsung Galaxy S20 Plus, and although there's a little bit of a crack on that back frame, I'm really not too bothered about that. It's the invisible crack. You can't really see it even no matter how hard I try. Like it's visible in person, but very much so not visible on the video camera. So let me see if I can show it on the other angle. There we are. Do you see it now? Kind of. You can see it right along here. Giant crack. Now, the screen does turn on. It still kind of works, but the digitizer has been severely damaged. Now, I would usually want to go and sell this immediately after getting it repaired, but I'm planning to use this as my own personal device. So things like this is not the biggest deal in the world for me. So all my plan is to replace the screen, put a nice case on it, and I'll leave it like that for the moment. And when I do plan to upgrade to another phone, probably the Samsung Galaxy S21 or 22, then I'll replace the back cover as well. Because I do not sell damaged phones unless I feel that there is no way I'm going to be able to make money off of them. So we gotta get into this immediately, and I gotta start off with the back cover. Now, the S20, it's made of glass. You gotta be careful in getting into here. So I do have this that I use. I also have a metal chisel blade that can work as well. But of late I've been using this. So if you can find a piece of metal like that that is super thin, then it can work wonders in getting you into the phone. So let's just get this heated up. That slipped in extremely easily. I'm quite shocked by that. It might be just, I don't know. I remember the S10 series, S9, S8, S7, all being extremely difficult to get into. But this is, for the most part, it's getting into it like butter. Yeah, it's the glue. Okay. Yes, definitely the type of glue they are using is making life easy. That is nice. Now, because of the type of screen I'm using just a screen, not a screen with frame replacement. I need to take out a whole bunch of stuff first, especially the cameras and the motherboard, stuff like that, before I can put the screen in. And it's simply because the process of removing the screen is really, it feels destructive, is the best way I can put it. Well, we're in. I've got the shields off for that. Easy enough, really. Wasn't anything particularly special compared to other phones that I've worked on. I'm trying really hard to get myself up to 1,000 subscribers. So if you guys do really enjoy my content, and more than just watching my tutorials, but my other weird stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. So this one has, it looks like just the one screw. This is like a double layered board. It's very odd looking. There's just one board layer screw here. I always like to take these screws just in case, and I put them off to the side, because they're generally a little bit shorter than the others. So if you put this one in, if you put one of these screws in where a board screw is supposed to be, it can end up destroying your screen. You really don't want that. You got 3 board screws down here as well. No, I don't need to take that out. You can see right here, this is the back of the screen, which is great. Means that I can use that as an area where I can push against. Now, how do I get this board out? It'd help if I pop the SIM tray out first. I think I'm also working right now against the cameras. The cameras are all fixed onto the back of the board of the main motherboard here. As far as I can remember, that's how it's done. Now, you can take them out if you want to. But if they're all being held together in one place, then it's really not a big deal. That face cam doesn't want to come out. I'm just going to work around it. I don't really want to. No. I got to take that camera out. I've nearly got the board out anyways at this point, so I'm just going to shimmy it out. But I do need to take the face cam out because there's a possibility that I could destroy it, or at least damage it, or cause some smudging on the lens, and I just don't want to deal with that. But the annoying thing is that it has been siliconed in. Looks like it's okay. Whew! It slipped a little. So you can see right in there, it just goes straight down to the back of the phone screen. Okay, I think good to go. You can also see a spot right here where I can push against if needed. Push right here if needed. And definitely going to be pushing here. Alright, I think I'm ready. I'm going to start heating this up. Oh, no, not yet. Or maybe not. Maybe it doesn't matter. I do know that the center of the battery is usually left open. So if you take the battery off, it's open to the screen, usually. I'd usually take the battery off, but let's just see how it goes. I like to use pretty much the same method to get the screen out as they do for the back cover, which involves just that metal plate again, or a chisel blade. That's good and warm now. If you're wanting to use the blade, I usually stick it in like on the edge, push in, and then lift. And then you can slip it in. You can see it's in there right now. But I do find that this piece of metal really, really makes life easy. You're also a little bit less likely to damage the frame more than it's already been damaged. Oh, I'm digging into the screen itself. Ironically, I might just go straight with the blade this time around. I think it's going a bit deeper. It's a lot more annoying if you are playing around with the underside, the in-between. You really don't want to have to deal with that stupidity. Okay, I'm kind of in. I'm starting to wonder if I should be using gloves right now. Now, with Samsung, they have two different layers that they use for adhesive. They put a centralized adhesive layer right around the center of the screen, and then they put another one that's all the way along the edges of the screen as well, which is a bit annoying, to be honest. How about I push here? Yeah, look at that. Pushing on the back of that works really well. It's all gone cold. See it back up. Now I'm behind the screen. I should be able to see the card from this side. Like that. Yes, that's working. Now, any of the tools or equipment or supplies that I'm using in my videos here, I do have Amazon affiliate links in the video description. I make a little bit of a profit off of anything that you purchase using those links. So that includes these plastic cards. I do have a link for them in there. If you look for them, they're there. They're very helpful. I've found them to be an invaluable tool for getting into Android screens, and more recently for also for backs as well, for Android back covers, but more recently as well, the iPhone 14, the 14 Plus, and the 15 series, 16 series, getting into the backs for those. These plastic cards are really helpful. Now, I have stabbed myself while working on a screen like this in the past. Just be careful. You get a little glass shard that's just sticking right out from the corner, and you're rubbing the card along here, and you're going upwards. You could just straight up stab yourself. That was not fun. It really hurt. And there is a little bit of shards of glass right here. I'm just going to clean that up with a little bit of packing tape. Fix it up so nice. And just toss that in the garbage. Alright, I got all that adhesive out. We got to test the screen before we fully install it, so I'm not going to be putting in any adhesive yet. So you can clearly see, please test the screen. They do say that if you install the screen without testing and it ends up being faulty, they're not going to accept returns. And that's very understandable. I'm going to have to put a little card or something right here just to prevent the screen from sticking down. Here we go. Now this one isn't really necessary, this is just for the charger, but sometimes these phones will not boot unless they have the charge port plugged in. I'll plug the antenna in as well, why not? I do not remember, yeah, it's out of battery. I couldn't remember whether or not it had any charge left in it. It clearly does not have any charge in it whatsoever, so I gotta plug it in. Well, it should have enough charge in it by this point. I also noticed there was a bunch of dust inside of the charge port, it wasn't charging at a proper speed because of that. So I had to clean out that, and it should be doing its job properly now. I saw it around one and a bit amps. There we go. Screen is just beautiful. Now I've already put my SIM card in because I need to go and make sure that everything is more or less working before I'm willing to fully install this screen. Okay, I think I'm satisfied. Everything transferred across from my old phone to my new phone quite well. So it's just a matter of getting this screen stuck down properly with some good solid adhesive. And I'll go from there. I pretty much did all the same tests, I should say, that I usually do with phones that I'm planning to sell to somebody. So I don't really think that there is anything else really to test. So yeah, let's get that adhesive in. Now I want to protect the camera, but I don't want it to stick to the frame. I keep on having to take the frame back out, not the frame, the back cover back off. It's getting really annoying. So I'm putting a bunch of my removal card things, and it should create just enough of a gap that it won't stick. I hope. Yeah, that works. The cameras, though, that's what I'm mostly interested in. The cameras are protected, so I can lay it on my desk and I can still work, which is great. Now I've got a bunch of different types of adhesives. There's two types that I'm most interested in using. I got this recently. It's so weird and bulky looking. I don't know why it's like that. That's 1mm thick adhesive. I think I'm going to use just on the bottom, and I think that's it. The sides will all be of the thicker adhesive. And this already has adhesive right there in the center, as does the screen, so that'll adhere quite comfortably. Or I might even take it off. It is a little bit bumpy here and there. Okay, well, let's get to it. I have the adhesive more or less set up now. I'm just taking the protective backing off of them, but I've been trying to measure it up to make sure it's about as close as possible to the original seal, and I know that I'm just not getting there, not anywhere near. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to drop some glue in some places. There's no holes along here, so it should be fine, but there are some buttonholes right along here, so I can't put a whole lot around them. But I mean, there wasn't adhesive really down in this channel originally regardless, but I am concerned. Like, here's a perfect example. Going along here, there isn't really any adhesive. There's none sitting around those edges. I just I'm a little concerned it's going to break. So I don't know. We'll see. Well, it's now or never. I'm going to be putting some dabs of glue in. Once I've got that glue in, there's no going back. There's also this channel that's along here. I don't recall there ever being any adhesive in this little area. It just makes me a little nervous because it's one whole area that has absolutely no buffering in it. I'm just concerned it's going to break. We'll just have to see. That's about as good as I can do. Now you might be wondering about the gap at the top there. I did leave the adhesive more or less in its previous condition. It's still very sticky, and I just can't remake that adhesive how it is. I just wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe I could. I don't know. Regardless, there is a gap right here in the adhesive, and I understand its purpose. It's for the earpiece to allow sound through. So you gotta leave that as it is. I sure hope that what I've got here is what I'm supposed to have here. Okay, I can take the back off. It's gonna be a lot easier to take off. It's still somewhat glued down. I'm not planning to replace the adhesive on this. It's extremely gooey. I'm quite pleased with that. When I put on the new back, I will need to put in new adhesive. That's fine. I'm okay having used adhesive for myself. I see no problem with it. Occasionally it can be bad, but in this occasion I really like the quality that is currently present, so it will stay. Trying to line that top part up is difficult. Okay, it's nice and flat. I think I'm going to put on some clamps on this at least for an hour to hold this down. I can toss in all those screws, get the plates in. I think we'll be pretty much done. If I remember correctly, this side needs to go in first. And it's the reason why is because the wireless charging unit needs to go in first so that it'll plug in properly. It's just right down here. Get her lined up. You hear that click? Because that plugs in place. Very good. Get the other ones all pushed into place. Get those screws in. Now we already put that one screw that was on the board, the board level screw. That's already been put into place, so we're good to go there. It's just a matter of getting all these screws back into their proper location. Alright, well, I gave this a little bit of a cleaning, just the edges for the glue. Make sure it's nice and crisp and clean, no dirt, little grooves or anything like that. I've got about as good as I can do it. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm ready to put this all together. If you guys don't know, I'm actually using my personal phone as my camera because I can't afford how expensive those really pricey, like the ones that I really want. Like my phone is capable of 4K. And this one will be fully capable of recording also in 4K. But to get a 4K camera, they're expensive. Oh man, are they expensive. They're like $800. Even a used one's around $500. I just can't afford that. So this is going to be the phone that I'm going to be using to record my videos from. Do I even need to go and put clamps on this? Yeah, I do. I don't know if you guys can see this, but the screen is moving just a slight bit. And that for me is an indicator that it needs to be clamped. So I'm going to clamp it. Well, it's been drying overnight and it's finally all done. I love how weird this creature looks like. Look at it. It's so odd looking. It really is. And I really like how versatile these little guys are. So guys, if you liked the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.